Okay, we're still in Belfast. You can see the Titanic Museum, and there's two of the iconic cranes, Samson and Goliath. However, this is the new Hollywood, and this is where they make the Game of Thrones, or they did make it. And this is called the Paint Hall Studios. And they call it the Paint Hall Studios because it was part of the shipyard. A bit noisy here because it is quite industrial. It's called the Paint Hall Studios because this was the shipyard, and that is where they would have painted ships and large pieces of ironwork for ships. So inside that is where they put a lot of the sets and scenery for these new films, because it's absolutely enormous in there. We'll cycle along in a minute to show you the size. But just across the road you can actually see where they build sets. I don't know if that's clear or not. Obviously it's a wee bit sealed off because they don't want to see people to see the sets and stuff like that. But you can sort of see the outlines of the sets they use. So this is the new Hollywood. In reality it's because it's so cheap to make a movie here, because they don't pay nobody nothing. However, we won't worry about that. So, huge anchor sitting there. I'll cycle along here. I'm on my bike, so this might get a bit shaky. So we've got the sets being made over to the right hand side. There's some lovely old gates. A lot of history in this area, and it's great to see, rather than the place that's getting knocked down, you know, using it for other purposes. But you're starting to get an indication now of the size of these industrial units. Must be about 30 metres high, I guess, maybe more. So you can imagine the pieces of metal, sides of ships getting painted. There's gantries and all inside for the workers to have used to paint these ships. So I guess they use those for filming and things like that. But this is a new Hollywood, where they make a lot of these new movies. So just thought you might be interested to see where the Game of Thrones was made. And that's it there. So I'll pull up a wee bit here before I fall off my bicycle. But absolutely enormous building. Very hard to get into, obviously, because they don't want the likes of me walking about with my YouTube channel. But there we go. That's the Paint Hall Studios and the film centre of Northern Ireland. See you later.